Yeah, we're just waiting on a few people to come in on my live. I started a little bit early. We normally starts at 9 o'clock, but I'm trying to get in the groove with some of this back in the live things that I don't do very many lives, but I need to get some lives in, and so we can get make sure lighting is okay and all of that. So I'm all set and ready to go. Um, some different things that I'm gonna be giving, helping out. This is gonna be a lab session one. It's gonna be exciting. Just we just wait till 9 o'clock, and I came in a little early so everybody can get a chance to get in and get some, but you can always replay it. We're going to allow it to be replayed right now. I'm just starting out with the live, and let's go ahead and say this may be the first. I have did a few lives, but let's say that this is the first one. And so just starting back because we plan on doing some consistently and consistent and the lighting. It looks like I'm still got a little darkness back here in the background, but that's okay. We go ahead and get. I hope everybody can hear me okay, and we gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. This gonna be uh, lab session one, and I'm just kind of just waiting around till 9 o'clock get here, and I just popped in a little bit early, and probably normally I probably won't start out doing it, but I thought this would be a great chance to get started doing all that. So I'm gonna be just um, trying to get the lighting looking a little bit better in here, and before we get, I always talk to you about having notes all the time. If you go back on some videos, we talked about having notes and write down different things. A lot of my I have a lot of good stuff in my videos. It's going to help distributors, vendors, or people that are just leaders and people just want to be able to own business and try to make some out of their self in owning their own business, So, like I said, I popped in early and I'm going to be sharing at 9 o'clock. So, we still got a few minutes in starting out. Uh, I'm just getting my notes and stuff kind of in order and ready to go. And I don't want to rush through this because it's going to be a typical um, 1 hour that we're going to be in. So I'm going to open up at 9 o'clock and we're going to shut down at 10. I'm going to try to make it close to as 10 o'clock as possible. And I hope if anybody have any questions, they can go ahead and ask their questions. My breakdown in today is um, just explaining and telling you my story and different things that we're going to help improve other people and just to enjoy this day. So it's exciting to be able to do all that. I mean, man, it is just really, it's exciting. And I'm glad that I can be able to share some knowledge with you all starting out. So the lives are going to get better, and we're going to get better. We're going to get lighting better. As you can see, I'm trying to see how I can be able to get my lighting, and maybe uh, somebody just out there can say, hey, hey, this is what you need to do to improve. I see the background, maybe have a little light in the background that maybe hide my lighting. I see that this camera is focusing on me. So looks like that help. Uh-oh. I don't know where I seen the camera is focusing on me, and but that looked like it gave me enough light when you can see me really good. And I'm gonna stay focused on trying to make sure that everybody can understand, see me really good. Right now, I'm in my office, and don't get caged in with thinking that I may just do some different places. That of where I am right now. I'm in my office, getting things together. Sometimes we come in here on a Saturday and get online stuff done, which is exciting. So y'all just be patient with me. We starting out with the live, and if you are doing any YouTube videos, hey, share that down in the bottom. You know what you're doing. So mainly I'm gonna at 9 o'clock starting out. Like I said, I have a full breakdown for an hour. I'm gonna get into just introducing myself, um, and then just telling a real story about how did I get here, why I'm on YouTube, why I'm sharing some things that I do, and we're gonna be going pretty fast in the pace because I don't have. We only have an hour, and I may, if I miss anyone's questions, I'm sorry, but we're going to try to get everything in that is possible as we can. I'm gonna see if I can be able to. Let's see. So make sure that we can get everybody's chats in and answer questions. If I don't answer, it's because I didn't get that message, and I apologize. Like I say, we try to like start fresh, and trying to make sure that we can be able to answer the question, get secure. We just kind of going out on a limb, trying to get a lot of this stuff started so everybody can be able to grasp some knowledge. And if there's some things that I need to improve, hey, look, I'm not so critical where I know everything, because I don't, and I may have this information, but at the same time, you can help me to improve myself, and that's something that I am looking to improve in, and so uh, I don't have any problem with that. It's just a pleasure that you all will take time out to watch my videos and get things done. So it's almost about that time. I left home, forgot my watch, and I usually have my watch. I'm gonna grab my cup of coffee, and if it's okay, hey, pull up, get you a cup of coffee too as well. So I hope nobody's critical about drinking coffee in the morning, because that's what I want you to do, is to do that. So is to be able to be comfortable and drink your coffee, and we can chat it up and chop it up today. We got a whole hour of this stuff, and I actually came in early so you can be able to enjoy these answering these sessions and these lab things that we're going to be doing. So it, man, it's exciting. So it's 9 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. Like today is my first lab, our first lab today. Man, it's exciting. You're going to get all this knowledge and this stuff that we're going to do. And so you can kind of look, I want to just bring you through the trenches of understanding uh, how exciting it is for to you to be able to join me in this lab session one. We have put this together and talk about some things, and so I'm gonna be going through this crude book. Every time we go through these labs, there's gonna be improvement uh, with the camera actions, with the notes and stuff. I mean, I'm just pouring out my heart to you with this, but we're gonna talk about lab session one. We're gonna talk about vending versus distribution. And so uh, mainly we're going to be talking about our breakdown in route basics, real margins, and what it actually takes. Now we're going to go and actually, excuse me, we're going to actually kind of go into this. We can't go full depth, but as we go on the way, we're going to be raking the surface of different things, but at the same time, we still going to continue to pull more things out of after every session. And then you may have some questions from lab one and then lab two, and you want to go back and we can answer a question. Hey, I'm willing to answer them questions. So that's perfectly fine. But today is uh, the day that we're going to talk about that. And one thing I have to say is I have to give God the glory because the word is a lamp to my feet and a light unto my pathway. I only got this wisdom from God as I trail my road to where I'm heading on my journey. So I always tell you, come on, follow me on this journey. Follow me on this journey. And so we can be able to help each other on this journey and to just learn some different things. So let's cut to the chase. First, I just want to introduce myself. The ones that don't know me, uh, my name is Kirkland. My business name is Stewart Snacks, and so that's my name. You know what I mean? Some of you might know me out there and say, "Hey, yeah, that's the guy that sells snacks. I remember him here. I remember him in this certain thing." So a lot of you gonna know me. A lot of you probably been watching some of my videos, and it's been exciting to you. So I'm just introducing myself, and I'm in. You see my hat. It says I'm from Louisiana. I'm from the north part of Louisiana. Um, and we sell snacks. That's mainly what we do is. So the main thing that I want to talk about in this, just opening up my story about myself. Like I said, I got some notes, and I just kind of want to follow because I'm trying to. I have to get everything in here, and we only got 1 hour. It's not like we spending this whole day together and doing it. And maybe one day we may do that if people start liking these things, these videos. Look, y'all come out and support me and listen to some of my videos. I ain't saying just log in, but listen, and maybe some of these things, the tactics and different things that you can learn to help you along the way as you go along the way. And it's exciting to me to show your support. And I sure numbers of YouTubers that are out there passing out information and giving us information to help us along the way, uh, so we can be able to do so. First of all, I want to be able to tell my story. Like I said, the first time I introduced myself and um, tell you about who I am, where I'm from in Louisiana, And so this is a different phase for me. It's going live because I want to continue doing this on Saturdays and allowing you to be able to gain some things because all the time, just because of what I'm doing and it may not interest you, still you can take some of these things because in order to be able to build a business or to uh, continue to get things out of things, you're going to have to be consistent. And that's what I do have. And you can learn some of the consistency from me and you can take it to your business. And guess what? You can be able to build a business because you got to be consistent. So where I started from. So I worked doing construction work, and I always did as a kid wanted to build a business. It's just doing something. Now it wasn't a particular thing because at one time I thought that I wanted to do a particular thing, and I realized that you know what, I just have the excitement of just building a business, which is it was really exciting to me. It was building a business, and it was fun. It seemed like it was fun. It's because as a kid I had that entrepreneur skill and I wanted to do something and to reach people and to help people and to um, do my own thing and be my own boss and that's where I came along doing that. Now you got to remember when I first started out, I didn't have no warehouse. Um, I didn't have any business doing these things. I started from nothing because I was doing construction work. So it was hot. I even did landscaping, different things that I did do, which my job right now as doing distributing reflects to that. So you have to understand that too as well. So I'm still out in the heat. And but um I had big dreams that I wanted to do that and I didn't know how to get started. So as I go on, me being a Christian, God took me to a pace in my life, and I thought, you know what? I don't know where this journey is going to take me, but I'm gonna take it. And so I saw it was like this stepping ladder. I mean, it was like a ladder just faced me as me going through certain different things, me facing that I was going through. And I really had a blinder over my eyes. I didn't know where this was going to take me, how the success was going. But I remember taking different things and making more money off of it and reselling different things. So and that's how I actually began to get started. And so as I was doing construction work and I'm coming up not as a kid, but I did some things as a kid, but I'm talking about as me got a little bit older. I didn't go. I'm not going back further as starting off kid because when I was a kid, I did want to do that, but I had some hiccups in that. So after my mind got set and straight, then I started doing construction work, which I did in the past as a kid, but I worked with this guy, and this guy, he was literally a millionaire. He was taking these houses and building these houses, live in them for a while, and then he would sell them. And I thought, wow, that is amazing. So I said, and then I seen him talking with a few politicians, and he owned a water company, and he was fascinating to me and he was a Christian, so and he began to drop wisdom and different things into our spirit and to help us along the way and to teach us different things and teach us about what was access and different things. And I remember the very first time me going to the gas station that I learned from him is we just kind of randomly just go to a gas station. He said, why don't when you're going to a gas station, I know some of you all may be more smarter and say, hey, I knew that, why did you not know that? But at the time, it didn't dawn on me how money was being spent. And so he was helping and teaching us that because the mentality that we had, God was using him to change our mentality in life. And it was exciting to know that. But, and I remember him telling us that you pass all these stores that have cheaper gas, and they'll just don't go to a random gas station. And that gas made back then the gas was $1 and something during that time. And so he said you can go and get it for 99 cents and still going up to this store and getting it for $1 and some cent. So as we begin to learn that, that grasped me, and I thought, wow, that is very smart. And that was, to me, it was, because I just thought just ramming this popular gas station, didn't worry about the money, but he was teaching us how we should spend our money so we can keep that extra money in our pocket. And so it was his money too. So he was teaching us, and as he was teaching us about saving his money, we had we had to learn about how we could save our money too as well. So I mean that was exciting to me, which opened up my mind about spending money. So I thought I would do that. I didn't actually have it in a note; just kind of just came to me just at a moment about that. This guy has put all this in me, and I owe him dearly. He's not living at this moment, but I owe him dearly as me working for him as construction work. And then I began to learn different things about things. He even told me, say, hey, look, if you find anybody, and I wanted to branch off on my own, is doing maintenance work and different things, he would say, just tell them that you know how to do these things and come back and ask me, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. And I thought, wow, I mean, this is better than Google. I mean, they had Google, but the phones wasn't really where you can really talk to Google during that time. So I thought, man, I'm gonna take advantage of this. So I just started going to different places, just telling people random stuff, just saying I'm gonna test him out and see. And so I started learning all these different things. And then as I began to do that, I added on grass cutting to my uh, thing. I end up, he said, look, I got some lawnmowers. I'm trying to get rid of them. Uh, I'll let y'all buy them. He didn't give it to them because he wanted us to understand the meaning of not always being handed something, but to earn something. And I'm just really realizing that. But I did realize it. But at the same time, at that moment, I just thought, man, he could just give us these lawnmowers. But it was really good. It was push lawnmowers, but it was really good lawn. He gave me one good push lawnmower, and he taught us all these different things, and we used them lawnmowers on the job. He didn't give us no ride lawnmowers. We didn't get a ride lawnmower until at the end when he got rid of them lawnmowers. And so he was trying to sell them. I said, will you sell them to me? And I remember buying them lawnmowers from him. I think one was like 30 or $40. It was real cheap lawnmowers, and I paid him his money. He took his money to as well. And um, I began to get some kids around me, and we began to look for a grass cutting job because I was trying to ask. I was being helped and learning things. I was teaching other people around me these things, and they was following me on this journey, which I'm trying to get you all to follow me on this journey as me telling this open story, a line of how I got started. And I'm hoping I'm not boring you all, but I'm trying to let you know that it wasn't either. What God was teaching me in this moment is a ladder and a snowball effect and a compound interest of the investments that I was investing in and making money. And God was taking me through these ladders, and that's where I started from, doing landscaping, construction work, and using that information that I learned to take me to a different level and making money on my own. And I had to start from there. Man, I really appreciate that guy. I think about him all the time and wish he. But during this time, this guy was an old guy, and and maybe somebody may know me on YouTube and say, "Hey, who is this guy?" His name was John Pruitt. He was a local construction man down here. During the time when I met him, he was 80 some years old. And this man would get up on a rooftop. I mean, get up on a rooftop and he would outwork us sometime. We thought he was just a driver, just like, man, and he made us men, real men. I'm almost getting choked up because just thinking about that, all these different things, that how I got to where I am and I had to go through all these different things with him. And some days we didn't like him because of different things. And his wife saved us from a lot of hardship because he believed that we should work and get what we needed to work and get it hard, started from the beginning and earn it. And that's what he do. He taught us that, man. And I thought, man, his sons, man, ought to be thankful for this man. This man was a great man. He was a really good man. And I hope his sons appreciated him because he was really good. He treated us like we was his sons. Even though we was a different color, he still took us on his wings and taught us all these things, especially when he just knew that I was the one seeking wisdom and knowledge all the time because I was asking questions and trying to figure out. And by me from moving from South Louisiana to North Louisiana, they had all these different slangs and different things that I thought, man, I don't understand this. Go over yonder, Calicona, and all these different things. I didn't understand that. And I'd be like, over yonder. I remember the very first time he told me over yonder, I thought, man, I don't know what he talking about. Where over yonder? Where is over yonder? So I thought I would just throw that in there. I hope you all appreciate it and understanding where I'm trying to get it. We're going to get into the different things, but I'm just trying to tell you some of the things that how I got started, and so you can have an understanding about some of the things that what things I had to go through and to give it. I even as doing construction, I kind of got off on my own, got away from him, but I still had to go back to him and get wisdom. And some days I would work a few days with him, but at the same time as I was on my own doing things for myself. And so I had to figure out as I was working with him a little bit and then working for myself a lot. And then um, I had to get a part time job at nighttime to fulfill some of the different things. So I thought, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just going to just pick up this extra gig. And so I had a car and I had a license, I had insurance. So guess what I started doing? I started delivering pizzas at nighttime. I thought, that would be easy. I get off from work, go home, take a shower, eat a little bit, go back 4 or 5, 6 hours and go deliver pizzas at nighttime, make some money. We even got tips and different things that they gave us. So that helped me out during the night. That would put a little gas and pay for my insurance. And so that's what I did. And so after I got into that, I'm going a little bit more fast pace into this is because I wanted to let's go back because as when I was at the pizza place, me and some guys we were sitting around talking and we was like, man, how can we make some extra money? We was all trying to get together and trying to figure it out as we was delivering pizzas and trying to put together because we wanted to do more in life, and to do different things. And I just, free up some of our time and doing some things. So we just joking around how, funny things of how to make money. So somebody just came up and said, man, you know what? That would be a cool thing, man, to get some vending machines. I thought, vending machines. Huh. And that's I have seen that a little bit. People talk about all the money that they make and stuff. That would be pretty cool. So I thought about it and I said, "Oh man, that's a real idea." And some that I went home that night and it stuck with me and burned in my spirit. And it had to be God on this journey that I was carrying. I thought, man, I think I may take that and use that to help out is learning that. And so I began to research it. I began to research it, do all these different things of trying to figure out how can, then I look and I said, man, these vending machines are high. But I was only looking at the new ones, you know, looking at the new ones, three, four, $5,000. And I thought, man, I won't be able to do that. So some kind of way I end up seeing these candy machines. And so I end up grabs and hold this. You put a quarter in it, and I start seeing this and win this research. So I call a company, asking about it. So you know what? Hey, asking this and finding the information. Then I finally grabs hold to the information. Boom, there it was. I got the information, got some money saved up. Now, remember, I didn't add this in it, but I had already started a little neighborhood candy store in front of my house during that time. Is trying to figure out these things, and because I that pizza money that I was making was helping me venture out and learning some of these things too. And so this what happened is I began to add all that together, and I ended up buying them candy machines. I forgot how much they cost, but there was some quarter machines, candy machine. It was plastic, and uh, I was going to buy the candy, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I just go to Sam's and buy the candy? It's going to be cheaper. So I did all that. I was just thinking of all kinds of different strategies. God was giving me little wisdom to help me along the way, and that's where we were. So I end up after doing all that, I did some research and found out and start calling some vending companies, trying to see where can I find or purchase some. Maybe they got some useful or something that's working already. And I didn't have no knowledge of how these things gonna turn out to me. I just went out on a limb and did these different things. So as I begin to do all these different things, research, end up running into I end up running into some vendor who was trying to get out the business. He was been in it. He thought he was getting a little bit older, and so I ended up purchasing some drink machines, one vending machine, drink machine from it. And I thought, man, I'm telling you, these things was heavy. So he said, make sure you bring you some help, and because I'm not lifting on him. He was an older guy, So I did. I ended up bringing some help, and I bought one, and I ended up finding a location to put it on, which was hard. But I'm gonna tell you, when I first started out trying to put them candy machines in there, which I didn't then because I'm skimming the surface of some of these things. Uh, not tell you, but tell you some of it. But it was hard, man. I got so many no's until one day finally I got that yes, and I thought that gave me some hope, and I was like, Lord, I feel like that that I need to be doing this, but I'm getting all these no's. People tell me no, maybe I just bought the stuff in vain. I won't be end up eating this candy. So I did, I ended up finding a local hair business that was cutting hair, a school, beauty school, and I ended up putting them in, and they just started taking off. And I started putting a few more. I was trying to put many as one, but they just let me put a few in. But they sold a lot of candy in them, and that gave me a little faith to get started in what I needed to do. And also, as I was on my way in the journey of doing all these things, I was still talking with the vendor guy who was already had a business full fledged rolling. I mean, he had it going on. And so he was me and him was talking, and I bought a couple more candy, I mean, drink machines from him, and I also bought some that I may need parts for because he told me that some of these machines gonna break on you, and you need to learn how to fix these things, or you're gonna be calling somebody to fix them for you, and it's going to cost you more money or eating your money. So I began to do all this research, study, and tinker with things, calling him. After a while, he kind of got tired of me calling him. And so I had to really dig in deep. And so he finally, one time or another, as we were on our journey, he told me about uh, the locations that he was selling. So I ended up buying some locations from him. And so as I began to buy the locations from him, well, I think one of them was, I think it was 1,000, maybe 1,500, and they had two machines on it that was already in the location, and it worked perfectly. And he said you can have everything in it. You can even have the money in the coin net, and that's how I still sell my stuff now to people from locations that I did have. I do them like that since he did me like that, and I took and trickled it down the line. And so that's how basically things became to that level. Now, one thing that I have to tell you before we get into our questions, because I have 5 questions that I want to throw in here, and that is, I end up after the years pass, I begin to search out as I had my candy neighborhood candy place. Man, it was doing really good. I mean, and I would get off work, kids, but it'd be that time right when time school comes. Sometimes it came between and early and stuff like that, but mainly it came after school and throughout the day until it got dark. And they would buy, and they was telling us all these things of what you need to sell. And I started listening to them like, anything else y'all would like from me? And I took that information that God told me to take and say, once you pay attention to the customers or what they want, and you can put it in, you can be able to make money like that. And I thought, that's a great idea. And so that's when it trigger off is me being able to do these things, and that's what I did. So, and as I start selling certain selective snacks, I start seeing some distributors out, and I started buying stuff from them. And I thought, man, how do y'all go about doing this stuff? Because they was getting their money really quicker than me in the vending machine. Because vending machine, you have to put your snacks in there, and you got to wait for it, and the investment that you put in it. But most of my machines, my whole vending machine lifestyle is I never bought a brand new machine. Never. Always was refurbished machines or used machines. Now, refurbished, I have to get into that one in another time, and maybe you can answer that question, and we can go down in the line of answering that. But this is uh, my journey of what I did, and all my machines was refurbished and used, and I took that letter and doing that. But besides that, before we get into the questions, because time is ticking away, and I just wanted to share some of my stuff through that is, and just to keep it real for you all. I just want to keep it real and just to let you know some of the steps that I had to go through. And I didn't get deep down into it because we don't have a whole lot of time. I only got an hour, and I have a life thing. I just want to make this sacrifice with you all, and so people can understand that it's not really easy. It's not simple to climb the ladder. You know, I mean, these was years and years of me growing into my business, and so I end up getting in touch with trying to figure out how what I wanted to sell, and I thought, you know what, I want to sell some chips and stuff. So I end up getting in and finding this place and selling snacks. But I always had third parties in where the money was they was getting a piece of the money, and so I had to go through the manufacturer to get that third party off of my profit. So I got to the point that I was buying so much product. I mean, you talking about uh, the sales was growing in my vending machines and also in uh, my candy neighborhood candy store. that I had to go and to get all this stuff and to grow this things. But I couldn't be all over the place, at that time. So I was still figuring it out. But my day was just pretty long and barren. Starting this business off, my days was very, very, very long. And so it was a journey. That's why I always tell you all to follow me on this journey, man. There is some good things and exciting because it was fun during the time of my journey as I was going through this. So, you know, I'm gonna stop from there. Is telling the rest of my story, and I'm gonna get into these questions. Some of the answers, questions that people want to know about, and one of them is, what is the real difference between vending and distribution? Okay, vending is your own machines, and sometimes you can go to these companies like, and I had to do that on some machines because I couldn't get all the things. I thought, why not me buying these drink machines and I can use their machine? All I gotta do is buy their product and Coca-Cola and Pepsi in them, and I would use their machine, buy their product, uh, which as I began to go down the line is realizing that that's a cut margin because it's almost like being in a third party different thing because their drinks begin to get higher and then you got a lower margin. And then some locations that you was at, they wanted a piece of the pie. Even though they were selling to their customers and their employees, because a lot of the employees bought a lot of snacks and drinks from there, and they still wanted a piece of the pie. So, and I did. I mean, I'm gonna tell you that some dealerships are really, really good uh, locations that I'm gonna throw in there. And but to get to the question, and I just threw this something out there so you can, if you are looking for a location, that may be something you might want to think about looking at. And but then between the difference between vending is vending machines. Vending is a vending machine that you own and place them in locations customers put in and buy directly from you. But you're gonna have to wait for your money because that customer has to pass that machine up so many times until they decide they want to buy the machines. And a lot of times when people are just waiting, so most of the hour my customers are employees because a lot of times customers, unless they was waiting, they just come off the street, depending on where what the location was, to come and buy that. So then at the same time you have to control your pricing. So if you got a store right by you, don't go and outbid the store. You want to get beyond that part. And look, these nuggets I'm giving you that you may want to pay attention, because I said that in this thing that I'm going to give you all the margin things so you can be able to make more margin. That's what I'm helping you out. And to keep most of the money at the location takes their cut. So some of them are going to want cuts, and you got to figure out a way to be able to control your margin. Is getting that point, or either you can get some of these machines that are from these things. Now, snack machines, you're probably gonna have to buy your snack machine. I would like to be able to get in business, which I do. I sell vending machines too as well. So if anybody may say, hey, I need a vending machine, I can help you out. So, you know, just reply to in the chat and say, hey, can you help me out? Give me some information on that. But distribution, let's go to distribution, because vending is, I to give you the information about that, even threw some tips out it. If you need to go back and reverse this and rewind it back, and so you can hear these tips in what I gave you about the vending. Distribution, you buy product wholesale and deliver it to stores and accounts. You stock their shelves, you take orders, you earn the margin between what you pay and what you sold it for. So right now, like me being distribution, I'm trying, not only trying to get to stores, I'm trying to sell to concessions And that's what some of the distributors, when I was out doing vending and I was selling to my can store, they was willing to sell me them wholesale prices like they would sell to the store. And I can be able to make a margin off of that product. But one thing that you have to understand in the business that I am in, uh, reselling snacks, you have to understand you got an expiration date on these things. Yeah. And you got to be you got to be able to sell. You got to be able to get this product out quickly and fast. Now, let's talk about some of the margin. Vending margins can run, you have to set your own prices. And sometimes you can get up to about 50% because you can sell that up to make you have good margins on vending. Now, distributing, depending how the wholesaler or the manufacturer sell you, sometimes you can get up to 20 to 33%, but you got to understand that you're going to be selling more and you get your money in your hand quickly with doing distribution because it's like going out and it's going out in larger quantities. It's not vending machines like that. Even though you're making more margins on vending machine, but you're selling that one product. People not just going in and just loading up. In the stores, you're making more because you're selling more fast. You're selling by the cases. So look, I'm giving you some stuff that you have to understand now. That's why that if you are a vending seller, try to find you a distributor. I'm giving you some tips in here. Find you a distributor that you can buy this stuff from. Some of them will work with you and not you may not have to buy a case. You can buy something. Some of them will work with you, but get in relationship with a lot of these distributors to help you out. Look, I'm giving you some good information. You need to hold on to that. So both of them, the vending and distributor, both requires hustling. Both requires consistency, but the daily operation looks completely different. They are. Vending, you are servicing machine distribution, you are serving stores and building relationships with people in the community where they have candy stores, schools, prisons, churches, different things that you can be able to connect with these to make money in distributing. And you sell in large quantities at a time. So both of them has their way of making money, but that's the reason why I jumped into distributing because you can make more money. So that was a question. I hope I answered that question for you. That is the one is what is the real difference between vending and distributing? I hope I answered. I'm just scratching the surface of some of these questions so I can get really deep in there. And if you got something that you want to answer, look, put it in the chat and I will answer it for you too. So let's go into how do you get your first vending location when everybody keeps saying no? And now some of these videos, I'm making a live video right now, but you can go back and look at some of my videos that I put in and I answer some of these questions. But you have to understand that sometimes this can be very tedious and it can be discouraging. Uh, is that let me say that question one more time. How do you get your first vending location when everybody keeps saying no? Everybody's going to give you no. Let me give you a quote from Les Brown. Is he said that you're going to have to take no as a vitamin because you got to know that there's a yes out there somewhere. Because once you get that first yes, man, it is exciting. You conquered the world. I remember the very first time I grasped my first location. I was so excited. I thought, yeah, you the man. So I heard no more times than I can count. Here's what I learned. Except no. It is the beginning of every relationship, not the end of one. So just because someone told you no, don't hate them. Don't be mad. It's just some things may be better for your purpose because some of the locations that I was trying to get, oh, I'm thanking God that I wasn't in there because I end up get in some location and I lost money in them location, and you have to do all these different things to try to see about getting your money lowering price, getting lower margin, all these different things, which is okay because you're trying to get your foot wet and understand the game in vending. Start with location you already walk into: laundromats, waiting rooms, small offices, car washes, car dealerships, hospitals, schools. These are all the different things. And now some of them have their different things that are, because you got to think about, if you get a school location, the school shuts down. The school lasts only for a season. So you have to understand that you want to be able to get that, but at the same time, you got to understand that it may be working for your season, but you have to get more locations. So I had quite a few locations to help me in these certain different things. So car dealerships was one of them that I said early. So you grasp these tips and go out and work and try to get these different things. Uh, Ask what it would take for them to say yes, then go solve the problem. So you asking these people, say, what can you do? Especially if you find a good location that you know they will do real good. Give them a reason to say yes. Why would they say yes? Put together and go read, wait for a while, and then some of them say, just check back with me later. Well, go back. Don't get upset. Treat them nice with great customer service, because you're going to get a lot of no's. You can't get mad at people and start sacking them out and saying all different things. Take it in consideration. Learn. Look at your area, where your machines are, where you need to be. Because sometimes you need to be in that location, and sometimes you may not need to be in it. So your first yes leads to your second, and location owners talk to each other. Some business, no business. So if you are not, as you get that location, you can't neglect it. You got to go in there and show your face to your people, and actually find that one person and treat them nice and get them to let other people get at this location. Sometimes find that one person that you know that stays, hangs around that vending machine, get him or her, and use them in a way of maybe giving them something free. Here, try this out. You think you can get these? Some people haven't been. Every time you come, I have a snack for you, and you don't have to literally tell them it, but just do it. And that's how you can get the rally around your machine and show them all the prices and good cheap things, and talk to them about, say, hey, look, I got this price. You want to educate that person that you are trying to get to rally, to get the people around there to go to the vending machine. And this is how you do these things. So the distributor who outlasts rejection wins the territory. So there's going to be people rallying, and I have had where there are people on locations that have vending machines. They're already on location. Sometimes they may have bad service. So sometimes you may can show them an opportunity of how you can be able to be a better owner in their location. Because some of them are calling you just randomly around. I still got people calling me about vending machines. So one thing we understand, that foot traffic is everything. Location with 50 people a day beat a location with 500 if those 500 never stop. So sometimes you can have all these people in it, but a lot of people don't stop them in the machine. And then just to have 50, and these people are going to the machine. So sometimes bigger may not mean all that good, because everybody in there may be healthy. I have had there have a lot of traffic and nobody buys a lot. But I put in a small location, and these people are eating them up, and they'll give you requests. They're doing all these different things just to get it. So let's move along to number 3 is, how do you get your first store account, and what happens when they say no? Getting into stores is harder than getting a vending location. Here is the honest truth about how it works. It was hard for me. I got a lot of no's starting out. Not I told you about vending, which I thought was hard, but stores were too, because people got to actually want to trust you into continuous service their store, not just dropping stuff and don't come back. Because you have to give these people guarantee. When I mean guaranteed is that it's going to sell, that they're going to be in money. You have to build a relationship, and there's so much into that store that I'm going to give you them that I'm skimming the surface of some stuff, but that is how you got to go and present your stuff, giving them samples and different things to help them to want to put stuff in your stores in. And so that is number three. Now let's go to number four. What are the real expenses nobody tells you about when you go independent? Man, there's a lot of expenses that you have to implement in. So, you got to think about some locations you may be giving them samples. Yeah, if you have a truck, I start off with an Astro van in my vending and in my distributing. I start off with an Astro van. Well, it wasn't an Astro, it was a Windstar Ford Brown. I put some things on as I went, and I used that van to start my vending service with and distributing, and where I distributed a lot of stuff. And look, it costs money for to do all that stuff, and so I couldn't get a trailer. I couldn't get a box truck, which all that stuff I have today. But I had to grow into all that. So sometimes you have to use what you got around you. It's okay, suck up your pride and start out small. You can't start being, don't get in all these expenses and overwhelm yourself, and then you go and lose it, everything all. Start out small. You got a little money. And this is how I started out and grow. You got to think about it. You got different things. You got spoilage that you're going to lose money in. Uh, and as you begin to grow, you're going to have to add in. During that time, I didn't need health insurance because my wife, she had her job when she had me. So you can use that to help you along the way to grow is get your wife to put in and y'all have health insurance. Now I'm giving you some of this information, but I'm giving you that some of the stuff that I use in my day-to-day operation. And so if I'm giving you information of different things that you get deductibles off and different things, that I'm not a tax professional. You have to talk with your CPA or tax professional about them. There's a lot of different things, you got to think about your bottom line, the growth and stuff like that. Maintenance, repairs, these things you're gonna have expenses of these different things, but you have to take it one day at a time and growing. That's why I said don't go grabbing all these big things. And so that is four of expenses. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about, and I'm hoping you all are getting a lot of different things from this. We are winding down to that hour, and I may stay just a few more minutes, hoping that you all are getting something from this. But how do you protect your cash flow so you do not fail like so many people do in year one? So I don't know if I said this, but when I started my first distributing off, I failed. And the reason why I failed is you have to understand that in being in distributing, there's a lot of cash flow things problem because you got to remember your money's going out there. You're buying product, and sometimes you don't sell it all in that time. So now I sell more product. I mean, I may sell thousands and thousands of dollars a week in product. Five, maybe $10,000 a week in product a week. And so you may not have got to that level, which I didn't. I had to get to that level. You got to think about all that money that I'm buying and the expenses. Now I got box truck, I got insurance, health insurance, I got an office, I got warehouses. These all these expenses that you ever do, and you got cash flow problems that are going to go in. You're going to always need money freely to buy product to make money. The main thing is taking in and giving out. You have to continue quickly getting rid of this product as quickly as possible, forcing yourself to get rid of it. And so that's how you can actually solve them problems. But there's always going to be where you're going to always continue needing money and making money on top of it. So you have to continue investing your money in that product, selling, putting it everywhere, being careful about your expenses. Don't go and buy no big old warehouse when you don't need one. Don't go buying a big old storage because that's what I start off with, small storage. And then I started adding on storages and building storages. And maybe some of my videos you've seen how I got started in some of my videos. And so look, it takes consistency in doing this because there's been times I've been on my truck and man, I just wanted to break down and cry and say, man, I don't know if I can do this. And so as the time went and I began to grow my business, I began to free up my time because at one time I was coming home at pitch dark, getting up early in the morning and coming back at pitch dark. And I said, man, something got to stop. Well, guess what? I had myself stretched too long. I had all these territories in my distributing that it was making my life tireless. And so I actually sold some of them territories. And then I found out, and I'm hoping this some of you distributors catch on to this if you're a distributor now, that sometimes you need to get rid of all that stuff just taking you further out and working your location. Once I begin to work around the local stuff and the things that I get and add more time in it, that I made more money. It's done all that ripping and running, all these foreign far places off. And and on the way that you can be able to do that, if you can be able to add employees, that you can do that. Now you have to add more trucks, and we'll get into all that down the line. We let's save some of that stuff, and so mainly, um, like I said, you have to protect your cash flow, and so I hope some of these things that you got answered. I hope I answered most of the things that you needed to hear, all the questions that we talked about. We talked about what is the real difference between the vending and the distributing. And we also talked about just vending location when everybody keeps saying no to you. Also, we talked about how do you get your first store location, and also what are the real expenses nobody tells you about when you go independent. And the last one we talked about, how do you protect your cash flow so you do not fail like so many people do, and as I did. So, look, I want to just thank everyone who came out and joined me today. I really do. We only just really scratched the surface of this, and that was the point. Is I'm scratching so you can be able to want to grasp hold of the information. Um, there's so much more to cover, and we're going to do that every single Saturday. I'm going to sacrifice my time to just tell you and answer some of these questions because some of you may not didn't catch it live, and so maybe you are maybe need to just watch the video and grasp hold of this information, take notes on this. But next week we just going to deep do a little deep diving in, just talking about some things, maybe trucks, maybe vehicle, may just make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Don't miss the channel. Don't miss the channel. Subscribe so you can understand and know some of the things that I'm giving you information. You can always go back. You don't have to be online. You can always catch the video, and then you will know. Say, hey, he made a video today. Oh man, let me go back and watch it. And if you want a free guide of this information that I'm giving you right now, I got it right now. I got it printed out. A free guide. It's only a couple pages. That when you print it out, it's 3 pages that you can print out of all the things that I talked about. Uh, And so you can actually go in that chat and say, hey, send me that free starter guide on vending and snack distribution, what you need to know. It's going to be a guide that I can be able to give you and say, hey, send me that free guide. Say free guide in the chat, and I will send you that, but I'm going to need your email. And once I do that, and I don't want you to just put your email out because some people may not want to. And in some kind of way, we will be able to. You can look on my thing. I'm gonna drop in the descriptions of how you can email me, which is going to be stewartsnacks@yahoo.com. That is a simple one that you can be able to do. So I'm giving you my email, stewartsnacks@yahoo.com, where you can be able to ask for that free guide. Email me that, and I will send you that free guide, attach that free guide to you. And so you can be able to get that free guide. So remember, the business is real. It is it's doable, and it's rewarding for ones who stay consistent. You got to stay consistent, and I'm still in this. I mean, right now I'm still in this business, and I'm still building. And I want you to build with me. That's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you just to keep pushing. God bless you in the things that you're doing, and so just keep building. Keep watching these videos. Subscribe to my videos, and so you can be able to know what is going on in this business. So one quote that I do have you, and this is my quote that I want to give to you is, I don't follow someone else's path. So I don't want you following my path. This is what I'm saying. I don't follow someone else's path. I let God lead me through my own. And that's a quote that I put together is because I didn't. I got the information from people and I let God lead me because God started leading me these different stair steps. And I was like, man, this is unbelievable, the way God is doing this stuff. And it was exciting to me. And I took it and I grasped hold of it and I put it together and I realized what God was doing a week ago. And so I'm giving you this quote, and I put this quote, and I said, hey, I want you to hold on to that quote, and maybe you can take that quote and put it down and say, I don't follow someone else's path. I let God lead me through my own. So just keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. Keep that momentum going. You got to keep that momentum going. So check out some of my little shorts that I'll be giving out. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, giving you all these motivating momentums each and every day. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving you momentum to keep you going, and so that you can be, because I know it's a hard road, man. I've been there. And one scripture that I want to give to you before you leave here. To help you along the way. And I know everybody may not be Christians, and I understand that. Maybe you know, on that fence, So commit your works to the Lord, and your plans will be established. And that is in Proverbs 16:3. Commit your works to the Lord, and your plans will be established. And I said, God, if you help me through this, that this is a scripture for me. And I got other scriptures and stuff that I'm not beating you in the head with scripture. I am just trying to give you some information. And so I can be able to help you along the way. And so you can be able to finish strong in your entrepreneurial skills. I hope this information, like I say, email me about this free guide, or you can put in the chat that you want the free guide, and I was probably going to tell you to email me, and I will send that free guide to you, which I have. I already got it printed out. You can print it out and just kind of go with some things you don't. Some of you, everybody may not be just snack or vending distributors or whatever. You may just need the encouragement, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you all. Keep pushing, keep that momentum going. Look, I'm gonna be out and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Look, it was exciting for you to join me. You all have a good day. That was our hour of one laugh. We starting today, and I'll see you next Saturday at 9 o'clock. And maybe I may just pop up early. So just be there because we're still trying to figure it out. Thank you. Bye bye. You all have a good one. See you later.